A student-led coalition is rallying against proposed cuts to higher education. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jacob Caviani.
And I'm Mackenzie Hutt. KMU8's Wesley Wiglarek is live outside the governor's mansion with reactions from protesters.
Earlier today, outside Governor Eric Greitens' mansion, protesters held up signs saying education is a right and stop the cuts. Around 50 protesters marched down Capitol Avenue towards the governor's mansion to protest. The Stop the Cuts Coalition organized the event. The coalition is made up of campus and community groups opposing the almost $98 million proposed cut to higher education. One protester says now is the time to act.
I think it was time for students, faculty, and staff at Missouri's public colleges and universities to send a clear message to Greitens that we don't want these cuts. They're unnecessary. They are hurting the university system, and they're hurting Missouri students.
KMU8 reached out to Governor Eric Greitens for comment, but did not hear back. Reporting live in Jefferson City, Wesley Wiglarek, KMU8 News.
Thanks, Wesley. The Westboro Baptist Church group will be in St. Louis Monday morning to demonstrate against a gay prep athlete. Jake Bain came out in October of last year. He was the first St. Louis prep athlete ever to do so. According to the head of John Burroughs School, the group will assemble on a sidewalk near the school to single Bain out. 8 organizations will form a counter demonstration, and students at the school have decided to hold an assembly to support him.
MU police arrested senior forward Jordan Barnett on suspicion of driving while intoxicated early this morning. Police say Barnett was arrested just after 3 a.m. for failure to drive in a single lane. Mizzou basketball is aware of the incident but has no comment at this time. Now, Barnett is currently Missouri's second leading scorer and rebounder. MU's student-athlete handbook says the first offense for a DWI arrest is a minimum of a 1-week suspension. And this comes as the Tigers are getting ready to play in the NCAA tournament next week. Deputies have arrested a Boone County man on suspicion of having child pornography. 48-year-old David Elliott was arrested yesterday at his home in Columbia. The Cyber Crimes Task Force searched his home, and authorities say they found several pieces of evidence. That investigation is ongoing. The Missouri State Highway Patrol has made a big discovery during what the patrol says was just a minor stop. Troopers found this: 50 pounds of marijuana wedged into door panels after a stop Thursday on I-70 near mile marker 130. They arrested Yusniel Morales Oliva. He faces charges of possession of a controlled substance. He's currently being held on $4,500 bail.
The Federal Trade Commission is cracking down on student loan repayment scams. While some companies claim to offer services to help you pay your loans down quicker and cheaper, the Federal Trade Commission warns you to be cautious. Some tips to avoid one of these scams: the FTC says to never pay an upfront fee. Only scammers promise they can quickly get rid of your loan debt. And just because someone has an official-looking seal doesn't mean it's legit. And DirecTV customers, look out. A new scam is using remote access. Customers are asked to log into their account, and then the scammer has all access to your account. A Mid-Missouri man says he gave the scammer no information but his name and still saw a charge on his credit card.
I never gave him my social security number, and I never agreed to anything. Like the next day, I noticed I got a ding on my credit from DirecTV.
If you get a call from someone impersonating DirecTV, call DirecTV and your local police department. And the Columbia Police Department is warning the community against people pretending to be one of them. There's been at least one report within the last week of someone impersonating an officer. KMU8's Emily McCarter found out what drivers should do to keep themselves safe.
You're being pulled over. And you feel like maybe you have that gut instinct that something is not right.
CPD says to trust that gut instinct. Public Information Officer Brianna Larimer says it hasn't happened often, but they want people to be aware and alert.
CPD told me it's not that hard for these impersonators to get disguises. It's as easy as walking into a party store like this one and buying a police officer costume. So that's why it's important to know what to look out for.
Larimer says officers will identify themselves immediately.
If the officer is unwilling to identify themselves, or like I said, a really big indicator is if you can't see the CPD patch, and typically our patch would be on both sleeves as well as the badge.
So what should you do if you feel unsafe when being pulled over? CPD says turning on your hazards will let the officer know you recognized you're being pulled over. Then start slowing down, but don't come to a complete stop until you find a well-lit and populated area. And if you still have suspicions, call 911.
The 911 operator would actually be able to let the driver know whether or not it was a legitimate stop.
And this doesn't just happen to police officers. Managers at a local security company say they've had a scare too.
They came to the door, identified themselves as security.
They say it's all about getting familiar with who's protecting you.
If you live on a property and it has security, get to know the security company's uniform. All our security wears a very distinct uniform. It's a blue polo with 3M reflective logos on it.
Always remember to trust your gut instinct.
If you're ever in doubt about who's at your door, do not open it.
Emily McCarter, KOMU 8 News, Columbia.
CPD added officers and are aware drivers might take extra precautions when being pulled over. They know it is not an attempt to evade officers.
And as you probably know, this weekend marks the beginning of daylight savings time. It's a good time to change out batteries on those smoke detectors and carbon monoxide alarms. The Consumer Product Safety Commission recommends changing the batteries in those devices when you go ahead and change your clock. And remember, daylight savings time starts at 2 a.m. tomorrow morning when your clocks are set ahead 1 hour. So, as we spring forward, is there any spring-like weather in our forecast?
Well, let's send it over to Matt to check of the weather.
Well, it's actually the opposite that's in our forecast. I'm forecasting a wintry mix for part of our day tomorrow, but for today, it did feel a little spring-like. High temperatures near 57 degrees. That's slightly above average for this time of year, but those temperatures have started to fall off just a little bit. 51 in Columbia, 53 in Jefferson City, 53 in Boonville, 49 up in Macon and Moberly. Looking at our satellite and radar, we've seen that cloud cover really filter in this afternoon and evening, but up to the north, that's where we are seeing a few light showers indicated on our satellite and radar. However, it is just too dry for us to be seeing any of that reaching the ground just yet. So we're going to have to wait for that humidity to increase and that moisture to increase as we go through the overnight hours. That moisture is starting to increase, though. This is the dew point. That's that measure of moisture in the atmosphere. Those values will continue to rise throughout the overnight hours. Rain chances move in by tomorrow morning. We'll track this and when we could see a few flakes flying in my full forecast in just a little bit.
All right, Matt, thanks. Well, how one local business was able to meet the demands of a busy weekend. That's straight ahead.
But first, you're taking a live look over Lake of the Ozarks. That's beautiful. We'll be right back after this.
Never be surprised by the weather. Download the free KOMU8 Weather and Traffic app. Brought to you by Central Bank of Boone County. What you're buying at the meat counter.
There's a chicken. And you can see this is a third label on top.
One label on top of another and another with multiple sell-by dates, some that are months old. A Target 8 investigation takes action on your concerns about how one mid-Missouri grocery chain is labeling meat. We went to multiple stores to check out the labels, and we're taking our findings to the stores and food experts. Monday on KOMU8 News at 10.
There's probably some pretty big names here checking out these half-price floats.
Oh, look, there are those two guys.
What are they famous for?
I think for eating here all the time.
Are we good at eating here or what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, come on.
For a limited time, get real ice cream slushes, shakes, and floats half price after 8 p.m.
Goodbye sweater, goodbye hat, goodbye scarf, goodbye cap, goodbye to these things, and hello to spring. Hello trees, hello sun, hello fresh air, hello fun. The end. This spring, get a great deal on a new Toyota.
Lease a new 2018 Camry for $209 per month with $1,000 lease bonus cash. Or get 0.9% APR financing for 60 months.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
When it comes to getting the best services for your home, it's important to have all the facts.
Myth, all TV providers are the same.
Fact, Spectrum TV gives you more free HD, free primetime on demand, and the Spectrum TV app, so you can watch live TV on any device in your home for $29.99 a month. Call 844-418-2999.
Myth, with internet, there's always a catch.
Spectrum has the fastest internet starting speeds for the price, 100 megabits, with no modem fees or data caps for $29.99 a month. Plus, Spectrum Voice gives you unlimited calling in the U.S., Mexico, Puerto Rico, and more for $29.99 a month. Call 844-418-2999.
Myth, getting the best price means signing a contract.
With Spectrum, there are no contracts and no termination fees. The fact is, Spectrum gives you the best services at the best value. Get Spectrum TV, internet, and voice for $29.99 a month each. Call 844-418-2999.
If you've been injured in an accident anywhere in Missouri, call Tolbert Beetle on the Hurt Line right now.
A cheeseburger that's under 350 calories? Feels like we're getting away with something. You thinking what I'm thinking?
Crossing the border and changing our names?
No, ordering shakes and changing our names.
Get our new flavor pack Sonic Signature Slingers starting at just $1.99. Available for a limited time.
The First Alert Weather Cam is brought to you by the law firm of Harper, Evans, Wade, and Nettemeyer. We will fight for you.
Welcome back to KMUA News at 6. You're taking a live look at our First Alert weather camera over the Rocheport area, seeing quite a bit of cloud cover starting to filter in this evening, and that cloud cover is going to continue to move in ahead of our next rain chance that's arriving late tonight into tomorrow morning. And while we do spring forward tonight, it's going to feel much more like winter tomorrow. Starting with our satellite and radar, we do have rain showing up to the north of Columbia, but this likely isn't making it to the ground just yet, as relative humidity values are below 50%, at least for most of us. 46% in Columbia, 47% in Jefferson City. This is how much water vapor the atmosphere is holding compared to how much it could be holding. So we need these values to increase before we see rain. I think we do finally see that late tonight into early tomorrow morning. So looking at our weather headlines here, we do have that wintry mix potential mainly in the morning and midday hours tomorrow. Then I think for the afternoon we'll see quite a bit of dry time. With better snow chances to the north. Now, road temperatures and ground temperatures are very warm, so we are expecting very limited impacts with this. It's going to be very similar to what we saw on Tuesday. We're also going to be in the lower 40s by the afternoon hours. Then as we look at the week ahead, we're going to start cool, but those temperatures will warm on up. Tracking this out for you hour by hour on Preciptcast, 9 o'clock tonight, you can see trying to indicate a few showers. I think that remains pretty much just drizzle, but things do start to pick up as we head into tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Scattered showers across the region, temperatures in the upper 30s, but look to the north, already seeing some snow starting to mix in with this. This is going to continue to track south as we go through the day. By 8:30, seeing those showers to our north. Temperatures falling as well. But notice that those temperatures don't ever fall below freezing. That is another good thing and something else that will prevent this from accumulating. However, a dusting could be possible in some of our northern and northeast counties, so we're going to be tracking this. But by the afternoon, we start to dry things out a little bit, still seeing some scattered showers, high temperatures topping out in the lower 40s. Then we'll start to clear things out as we go into Monday. We'll have a little excess cloud cover, but that will push through, and then we'll see a lot of sunshine for Monday afternoon. Looking at that temperature trend, we are cool for the first part of the week, but look what happens as we start to dip into some of that southwesterly flow. You can see some of those warmer temperatures starting to move in by the time we head into Thursday. But as for our forecast for tonight, we are going to see that rain chance increasing mainly by early tomorrow morning. 36 degrees, winds out of the east at 6 to 10 miles per hour. We are elevating our storm mode index for tomorrow to a level 1 as high temperatures top out in the lower 40s. Again, impacts will be limited with this due to those road warm temperatures. Looking at that extended forecast, we set those clocks forward an hour tonight, so we'll lose an hour of sleep. We start next week cool, but we're back into the mid-60s by the end of the week.
Your friend orders a Friday sirloin steak and big ribs. You want to up him with the steak, but add a steak. Figuring steak and steak trumps ribs and steak. But does it?
15 combinations, steak, ribs, shrimp, and more. 2 meats, 2 sides, $14.99.
It's Ram Truck Month, so long live the trucks with best-in-class 30,000 pounds of fifth-wheel towing and class-exclusive features like coil-link suspension for a smooth ride and Ram box storage. They don't just inspire passion, they help it grow stronger. Hurry in for a great deal during Ram Truck Month.
Now, get an average $12,888 in total values on the 2018 Ram 1500. Or lessees of competitive vehicles get this low-mileage lease on the 2018 Ram 1500.
Too many people my age depend on their looks to get by. I know that these looks are gonna fade, so that's why I get outside. Predictable. Carry the one. It's all about focus. And leverage. Being around trees helps me concentrate better. And it's a good thing, too, because this isn't going to finish itself. Find out how trees can help kids achieve greatness, because at treesworth.org.
Your friend orders a Friday sirloin steak and big ribs. You want to up him with the steak, but add a steak. Figuring steak and steak trumps ribs at steak. But does it?
15 combinations. Steak, ribs, shrimp, and more. 2 meats, 2 sides, $14.99.
Get where you're going faster with the KOMU8 Weather and Traffic app, bringing you mid-Missouri traffic in real time. Download the free KOMU8 Weather and Traffic app. Coverage you can count on.
How do you become America's best-selling brand?
Want to see a trick?
You make it for those who need an extra hand. And a little heads up.
You okay, bud?
That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Get $3,500 cash back on the 2018 Escape or lease for only $239 per month for 36 months. Hurry into your quality Ford dealers today.
KOMU8 cares about the safety of your community. It's time for the Crime Stoppers Report on KOMU8.
Montez Marks Oliver is wanted for felony unlawful possession of a firearm. He is known to be armed and dangerous. Also wanted is Sheldon Grayson for burglary and unlawful possession of a firearm.
Crime Stoppers is brought to you by Command Security and Sound, the name to trust. Remember, you can fight crime by calling Crime Stoppers at 875-TIPS.
The True Falls Film Festival brings thousands of visitors to Columbia each year. KOMU8's Namdi Guanwu tells us just how one new business was able to handle the boom in customers.
Running a new business isn't easy.
I'm still kind of wearing a lot of hats and juggling, so the days are long and the sleep is not.
Especially when you have only one full-time employee.
This is a one-woman show.
During a time as hectic as True Falls.
Every restaurant is packed and they bring on extra staff. Well, I have no staff.
So what did the owner of the 2-month-old Good Food Company do?
I created a Facebook event asking for all hands on deck.
She reached out to her community, and her neighbors came out to help.
I really want to see all the small businesses around this area succeed, and I thought that it would be something nice to do because I know that there's usually an influx in business during this time.
And while they're not doing the biggest task,
sweeping, doing some dishes.
Bringing people out, helping them get their pastries.
I cut butter. So, wow, she goes through so much butter.
Rothstein says all help is welcome.
If people, said, hey, I want to help, if they really do, they can. I don't know if people always have an avenue to turn their well wishes into action.
And her volunteers agree.
It's just a great way to contribute. And, 5 or 10 minutes here or there is just nothing for me, but it can be so much. I know it can be real important for her.
Because community to them is all about being supportive.
Everybody should have a hand in helping to build our community.
Because of those few volunteers, Rothstein was able to meet the demands of one of Columbia's biggest events.
Not everybody puts their money where their mouth is, like people often say, oh, I wish you well, but the people who come through for you really feel something. I'm so grateful.
Namdi Guanwu, KOMU8 News, Columbia.
True Falls co-founder David Wilson told KOMU8 News more than 50,000 tickets were sold for this year's festival.
Well, college basketball is front and center, but spring football, it's here as well. Find out what players are saying about the new offense. That's next in sports.
It's Saturday Night Live with your hosts, Steve Martin, Sterling K. Brown.
It's the one and only Ford Truck Month. The place to find one-of-a-kind deals on Ford F-Series, including Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, F-150. With best-in-class towing and torque, these bad boys make the rules and break them. That's why it's America's best-selling truck 41 years straight. But like ribs at a barbecue, these deals won't last long. Ford Truck Month. It's buy now time, partner. During Ford Truck Month, get $22.50 cash back plus $12.50 Ford credit cash on Ford Super Dealer. Only at your quality Ford dealers.
Our commitment is reflected in the quality of our products. We believe it's the pride in our work that makes Window World America's largest exterior remodeler. We stand behind our promise of providing you great service at great prices. Need windows, doors, or siding? We've got you covered, all backed by a lifetime warranty. Window World, simply the best for less. Tonight's primetime lineup on KOMU8 and Mid-Missouri CW is brought to you by your Heart of Missouri Chevy dealers. Find new roads.
Youth bat standards have changed, and you might need a new one. So flip your bat at Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right now, get 20% off any new bat when you trade in an old one, or get your voucher online at academy.com. Academy Sports and Outdoors, for all for less.
Hi, I'm Dr. Oz. Just like teeth, your dentures need proper care. Gently clean them each day with a non-abrasive cleanser to remove food and plaque. When you're not wearing them, keep them in water to prevent warping. And don't forget oral hygiene. When you remove your dentures, gently brush your gums, tongue, and the roof of your mouth to remove any plaque.
Watch Dr. Oz weekdays at 2 on KOMU8. Brought to you locally by DDS Dentures and Implant Solutions of Mid-Missouri.
Oh, snap! Superfast internet, TV, and phone for less than $20 each?
Yep. Switch to Extreme and get all three for $19.99 a month, each one bundled. That's what we thought you'd do. You'll get download speeds up to 100 meg. TiVo DVR and TV streaming with the Extreme TV app. Plus, get Stars and Extreme Wi-Fi 360.
I'm so excited!
That's all three Extreme services for just $19.99 each a month for a year. Call 800-SIMPLIFY.
Now, from the Ford Sports Desk, KOMU8 Sports.
As the Missouri Tigers wait for Selection Sunday tomorrow to find out where they will be for the NCAA tournament, it is off-the-court news making the rounds today. As was mentioned earlier in the news, KOMU8 has confirmed forward Jordan Barnett was arrested early this morning on suspicion of driving while intoxicated. The senior has been a big part of this team this season, leading the team along with fellow senior Cassius Robertson. Barnett is the team's second leading scorer, averaging 13.7 points per game. He also has played the second most minutes on the team behind Robertson. If Barnett is not available, that will leave only 7 scholarship players for the Tigers and 8 total players eligible. Follow KOMU8 News and Sports for more updates as they come on the Barnett situation. On the court in St. Louis this afternoon, the SEC tournament semifinal games took place, pitting Alabama against Kentucky and Tennessee taking on Arkansas. In the first game, the Wildcats continued to look strong as they rolled past the Red Hot Crimson Tide and Colin Sexton by the score of 86-63. Wayne Gabriel, he was hot. Fire from behind the arc, shot 7 for 7 from three-point land, finished with 23 points. And in game 2, a day after upsetting Arkansas, the Razorbacks ran into the buzzsaw that is the Tennessee Vols. Tennessee took a 19-point lead into half and never looked back. Jordan Bone shot 8 for 11 from the field, leading the Vols with 19 points. So tomorrow it is the Vols and the Wildcats in St. Louis for the SEC title. And as the madness of March picks up on the court, football teams across the country are hitting the practice fields for spring practice. The big talk this spring for the Missouri Tigers is the return of Drew Lock for his senior season, along with the addition of new offensive coordinator Derek Dooley. Players said yesterday the new offense is much more intricate. Senior lineman Paul Adams said there is a lot more to think about with this offense. Here's what Lock had to say after practice today.
We're going to run a lot of different plays this spring, and some of them will click, some of them won't click. Some of them won't make sense to maybe Albert or Kendall, or maybe not even me, or maybe Emmanuel, something like that, to where we're going to come together at the end of spring and really put it together on what we want to run.
On the diamond, the Mizzou baseball team carried a 5-game win streak into Saturday's doubleheader at Taylor Stadium against LaSalle. Michael Plasmeyer, the crafty southpaw on the hill for the Tigers in Game 1, and he was dealing. He would finish with 10 strikeouts on the day, and here are just a few of them. Plasmeyer allowed just 5 hits and 1 walk on the day. The offense also very impressive for the Tigers. LaSalle wearing interesting uniforms today. Not sure if I agree with the brown stripes, but they would add 3 runs in the third after scoring 4 in the first. A Tony Ortiz double to center, scored 2 Tigers, and then Ortiz would come home as well on this Paul Gomez blooper that you just saw. And in the 8th inning, the Tigers were up 7. Plasmeyer was in trouble for the first time all game, but he would get out of it. He allowed 1 with the bases loaded, but would survive the rest of the inning with a strikeout and fly out to close out his day. Tigers finished this one 7-1. Plasmeyer goes 8 strong innings. And now on the softball diamond, the Tigers continued to struggle in Knoxville as they fell to Tennessee 7-0 today. They had just 1 hit after losing to Tennessee 7-4 last evening. The Vols are ranked 4th in the country. They'll play again tomorrow afternoon at 12:30. And finally, one quick note, Tiger Woods is in the hunt at the Valspar Championship. He's just 1 shot off the lead. You can watch the final round tomorrow. Tiger will be wearing red in contention right here on Channel 8 at 2:30. And that'll do it for sports.
All right, Evan, thanks so much. Well, one local exhibition lets its visitors go back in time.
Back to a time when dinosaurs roamed Missouri. That's coming up.
At Harper Evans, Wade, and Nedemeyer, we believe in meeting our personal injury clients in person, wherever they are. By working with us, our clients can focus on recovering while we move to build a powerful winning case. We review injury cases free of charge. We know this is a difficult time for victims and their families. We help them understand the process and get them the settlement they deserve. You want us on your side. Harper Evans, Wade, and Nedemeyer, we will fight for you.
Now is the perfect time to break free and start a new adventure. And with an incredible combination of capability, safety, and efficiency, you can elevate your freedom to new heights with the award-winning Jeep SUV lineup. Lessees of competitive vehicles get a low mileage lease on the 2018 Jeep Compass for $169 a month.
Get a steak. Not just any steak. Steak on the bone. The steak that made meat lovers meat lovers. Eat like nothing else in the world will do. Because tonight, nothing else will do. Longhorn's bone-in, bold flavor. The outlaw ribeye, pork porterhouse, or the grilled lamb chops. The feeling, the flavor, the place. Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak.
Where can you find a trusted, locally owned pharmacy with the newest conveniences? Eldon Drug Company. How to shorten wait times for those needed medicines with online ordering and an easy app for refills sound to you? That's still Eldon Drug Company. Stop by and check out our durable medical equipment such as diabetic shoes, lift chairs, wheelchairs, rollators, and ask about our rental items. Most insurance accepted and accredited by HQAA. Eldon Drug Company. Local made easier.
Coming up tonight on KMU 8 News at 10, we will tell you what President Donald Trump is saying at a rally that's happening right now in Pennsylvania.
And what firefighters believe started an early morning fire in Boone County. We'll have that and more tonight at 10.
We will spring forward tonight, so you set your clocks ahead by an hour around 2 o'clock in the morning. It will become 3 a.m. And with that, we're not going to be seeing spring-like weather for tomorrow. We have a chance of a rain-snow mix through about midday. Then by the afternoon hours, I think we'll start to dry out a little bit. High temperatures still in the lower 40s, so not expecting any impacts with this. But some of our northern and northeast counties could see a light dusting on elevated and grassy surfaces. After that, we're going to see temperatures start to warm up as we go through next week. By the end of the next week, we should be into the 60s.
Alrighty, thank you, Matt, so much. All right, Jacob, how would you feel about coming face-to-face with a dinosaur? Well, the 6th annual Dinosaur and Caveman Expo at Rockbridge High School let people do just that. Experts say Missouri is a great place to find fossils, and many of today's displays came from our state.
All along the creeks and rivers, we get late Pleistocene mammoths and bison and kind of 10,000 to 20,000-year-old fossils that are still coming out of more recent sediments in a lot of the river systems.
After they checked out all the interactive displays, visitors could also watch a video about the Ice Age in Rockbridge's planetarium. It was a very fun day.
Oh, life size there. Looks like a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. It was a blast for kids and reporters alike.
All right, I bet.
Who doesn't like looking for dinosaurs? That's the real thing.
Yeah,
exactly.
And you have an update on a Mizzou baseball score, right?
Yeah, Mizzou baseball leads 7-0 in Game 2 of that doubleheader against LaSalle in the 6th inning, so things looking good for the Tigers as they look to continue on their winning streak.
All right, and we'll have that final score when we see you tonight at 10.
Thanks for watching.
On air, online, on Facebook.